All right, guys, so we are going to start this section off by creating a data model for our user. So why are we going to do that, and how does it relate to navigation? Well, basically, we want to populate that profile view with a user, right? So when I click on that, this is ultimately going to be populated with some type of user data. In this case, it's going to be their profile image and their full name. So we need to create that data model so that we can populate our profile view with that data model. But we are also going to have some sort of value-based navigation now, right? So basically what we want is, I want to say, hey, when I click on this guy, right, I want there to be a user associated with that, and I want to pass that along into my profile view so that my profile view can display the correct user data. So in order for us to have that value-based navigation or link a value like a user to that navigation, which is how the new navigation stack stuff works, we need to create that data model. So let's go ahead and hop into our model folder and just create a new file. And this is going to be a Swift file. We're just going to call it user. So we are going to say struct user, and this is going to be conform to the codable protocol as well as the identifiable protocol. So to start off, we can just say let ID equal NSUUID dot UUID string, and I think we might have to make that a var. And then we are just going to have a couple other properties, right? We're going to have let name, or we could say full name is a string, and then we can say let email is a string, and then we're going to say var profile image URL, which is an optional string. And yeah, that looks good, guys. I think that's all we need for now. So really quickly, I just want us to create like a mock user. So I'm going to create an extension here on my user, and I'm going to say static let mock user equal user, and then let's just go ahead and pass all this stuff in. We don't need the ID. Full name is going to be Bruce Wayne, email batman@gmail.com, and for now we can just make the profile image URL like a string. This will obviously be replaced with like a real profile image URL that we upload to Firebase storage and all of that, but for now we can just do this. So now that we have this mock user, spelled that wrong, let's think about where we want to implement this data model and how we're going to use it. So the first place we're going to want to implement this is inside of our inbox view, right? Because we ultimately need to display the currently logged in user's profile image right there. So let's go ahead and see if we can accomplish that, and then we'll move on to populating the profile view with our user data model and ultimately the navigation. So let's see, we need to go to our inbox view, and I can just go ahead and create like a state property, private var user equals user.mock user. Right, so this is just for testing purposes right now. We're going to set this up with a view model and stuff later on. But now what I'm going to do, guys, is go and replace this, this image right here with my user's image. So instead of image system name person.circle.fill, we are going to make this an image, but it's going to be this guy. We're going to say user.profile image URL. And let's see what that looks like. Let's give it a default value. And you can see that that's absolutely massive. We don't want that. So we're going to say resizable.frame width and height of 24 by 24. And then we are also going to make it .scaled to fill and give it a clip shape of a circle. So that's a little too small. Let's maybe make that 32 by 32 and see how that looks when it updates. Okay, so that is pretty good to me. And now, guys, what we want to do is actually make this like a navigation link. So, and then we're going to give it the value of our user. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm just going to cut this with Command X, and I'm now going to say navigation link. And we're going to use this option that has a value and a label. and it's going to say it creates a navigation link that presents the view corresponding to a value. So here is where we pass in our user, and then the label is going to be that image right there. And I think this is going to throw an error. Yeah, so our user object needs to conform to the hashable protocol. So let's go identifiable and hashable as well. And that error should go away. Now we have set up our navigation link. Now we just need to set up our navigation destination. So guys, you'll notice that this is now clickable, right? Which is really cool. So then we can go here and add a navigation destination modifier. And then we're going to say this is for the data type user.self. And then here is where we're going to set up our navigation to our profile. So I can say user in, and then I'm going to create my profile view. And now you guys will notice that I can click on this and it's going to take me over to my profile view. Now what I want us to do is actually populate this profile view with our user data. So what we can do, guys, is require that we initialize our profile view with a user like this. We can say let user be a user. And now it's going to say, hey, you have to provide me with a user. So fix our preview to start. We can say user.mockUser for the preview purposes. And then inside of our inbox view, we can now take this user that's linked to our navigation and provide it to our profile view, just like this. And now let's go back to the profile and actually utilize this user information. So what we can do now is, replace this username with our user.fullname. And let's see. So basically, guys, inside of this else block is where we are going to do this. We are just going to replace this image guy here with pretty much everything that we did inside of our inbox view. So let's just go back over there and copy and paste this right here. And we'll just modify the frame. Make that 80 by 80. So now you guys can see that we're actually populating the profile with user data. And if we go back to our inbox view and we click on our user, it takes us over to our profile view and populates that profile view with the user data. That is working beautifully and as expected. And you guys notice that we can just click the back button and it takes us right back over to our inbox view. So that is the concept of value-based navigation, guys. We are clicking on some sort of thing that represents some information about a user or a data object. And then we introduce this navigation destination and it says, hey, whenever you're clicking on a user, I'm going to go to the profile view and I'm going to supply it with the user that you have clicked on. And we set up our navigation link in such a way that we passed it a value so that it will trigger this navigation destination modifier whenever it detects that we have clicked on a user. So that's a really cool setup. That's how the new navigation stack stuff works. Like I said before, if you guys are confused about that, I have a full tutorial on how the new navigation stack stuff works with SwiftUI on the YouTube channel, but you're going to get so much practice here, even more so than what we go into with the tutorial. So get excited for that, guys. Next up, we are going to be building out the user interface for our chat view, and then we're going to start introducing our backend with Firebase and actually working with real life dynamic data. So get excited, guys. We'll see you there. Peace.